Welcome to Al Explorin'. I'm Alex. We are here today at the John Glenn International Airport. You can see a plane right here taking off. We are doing some sightseeing here near the airport. We're starting today here at the very first airport terminal here at John Glenn International Airport, at that point called Port Columbus. So let's check this sign out. So here it is, the original Port Columbus Airport Terminal from 1929 to 1958. The original Port Columbus Airport Terminal was founded by the people of Columbus and was one of the first airport facilities in the United States. Dedicated on July 8, 1929, Port Columbus was the first transfer point in the westbound transcontinental passenger service, the TAT, and the Santa Fe Railway. Its first passengers departed by rail from New York City on July 7, 1929, and boarded TAT-4 tri-motor aircraft at Port Columbus to fly to Waynoka, Oklahoma the following day. They then traveled by rail to Clovis, New Mexico, and completed their journey with a TAT flight to Los Angeles. The scheduled 48-hour trip celebrated in Columbus, marking the beginning milestone of the national airport travel. Let's before we go to the other side, let's look at these pictures first. See there. It's the back side of the building. And then here's the rotunda on the other side of the historical building. So then, with the nation sinking into the Great Depression, the national air travel venture at Port Columbus was not profitable enough. As a result, the scheduled plane operation was suspended and replaced with coast-to-coast air service in 1930. The arrival of mail service at the airport in 1930 helped, as did a huge contract with the Curtiss-Wright Corporation in 1940. Curtiss-Wright leased 83 acres of the airport property to produce 6,000 planes, including the SB-2C Helldiver and the SO-3C-1 Seagull aircraft. The federal government took over airport operations in 1941. In 1942, a naval air facility was established, adding several new buildings and lengthening runways. This building served as a passenger terminal until the present terminal opened on September 21st, 1958. So you can see here, City of Columbus plane. And then the U.S. Mail. Delivering stuff to Port Columbus. Alright, so here is the dome of the terminal. You can see windows are still there. There's fans up in there, you can see, but obviously doesn't have passengers coming in and out of it like it did at one point. There's also been work done here. It's the future home of the Ohio Air and Space Hall of Fame and Learning Center. But I know that these signs have been up for a long time, so I'm not sure if they will actually happen or not. But you can see all the bricks have fallen on places. Windows have been knocked out. But hopefully one day it will be used again as a museum to commemorate Ohio aviation. And here we zoom in, you can see the former TAT, the Transcontinental Air Transport hangar here. Old building, not really looking like it's in use, but yeah, another relic of Central Ohio aviation history here. Okay, well, let's move on to our next historical marker around the corner, and come out and potentially see this new museum when it opens. And it's just a cool building to see. Historic wise, there used to be people coming and going on trains and on airplanes from here. So a really cool spot in Columbus, commemorating the history of our community. So our next stop here is at the Defense Supply Center here in Columbus on East Broad Street. It's all about the Columbus Depot. Since 1918, this installation, currently known as the Defense Supply Center, Columbus, has served the federal government as a procurement and distribution point for military supplies and equipment. Originally the Columbus Quartermaster Reserve, this location was chosen because of its immediate access to 3 railroad lines. Expansion of the center continued after World War I and in the years immediately prior to World War II. The center's mission changed to reconditioning war material for resale. During World War II, the center became the largest military supply installation in the world, employing more than 10,000 civilians and holding over 400 Axis prisoners of war in secured barracks. An installation continues to provide a variety of parts and supplies of all branches of the armed forces and other federal agencies. You can see here, prisoners of war here. So, right here is where they held some World War II prisoners, right here at the Defense Supply Center in Columbus. So let's head on to our next stop. That's pretty cool. So we are now at the campus of Ohio Dominican University. It's a Division II NCAA university here, just west of the airport. Going to go look at some historical markers here. We also got surprised with a softball game's going on here, so I'm going to take some pictures of the softball game, and while we get these historical markers. So let's go. So we are walking away from the softball field. We're headed down. I think this is going to be the baseball field, but the sign should be down this way. Near the Elm Creek Trail. So we're going to continue to attempt to find this historical marker. Should be down here. It's a nice day to have kind of an adventure. So going back here behind the outfield fence, the trail's kind of muddy here, but not unpassable. So we're gonna trek on. I can see part of the walking path around here, so kind of going a roundabout way to go to this spot, but a journey nonetheless. So here's the baseball field from the left field outfield wall, right here by this ODU bush. Pretty cool. So here is the Underground Railroad historical marker. It's put together by the Columbus Recreation Parks Department alongside the Friends of Freedom Society. The Underground Railroad was neither underground nor a railroad, but a system of loosely connected safe havens where those escaping the brutal conditions of slavery were sheltered, fed, clothed, clothed nurse, concealed disguise, and instructed during their journey to freedom. Although this movement was one of America's great social, moral, and humanitarian endeavors, details about it were often cloaked in secrecy to protect those involved from retribution of civil law and slave catchers. Ohio's history is permanently shaped by those thousands of runaway slaves passing through or finding permanent residence in the state. So, here's more about Alum Creek. 58 miles of Alum Creek run north to south, originating in Morrow County, and continues through Delaware County into Franklin County, where it empties into the Big Walnut Creek, draining into the Scioto River. Alum Creek, along with these and other waterways, served as liquid lines to freedom for runaway slaves escaping a life of bondage and brutality. Wading through the waters, it prohibited the bounty hunters' bloodhounds from picking up the human scent, allowing those freedom seekers to continue their journey to a safe haven under the veil of darkness. Sunbury Road, which is what the university is built on, or the old Sunbury Pike, was home to several underground railroad stations along the northern Alum Creek corridor, whose dwellers gave shelter to those seeking freedom. Ohio Dominican University, formerly the College of St. Mary of the Springs, is proud of the heritage and the important waterway that runs through the grounds. So there is a plane taking off. We're not far from the airport. But here there is a walking path over the Alum Creek here. Recently built bridge, but it's absolutely beautiful. Going over this small waterway, you can see literally to the bottom of it. It's not deep, but it does run. It does run right along 670 here. You can see there's a small stream that attaches right here to this bigger point of water here. So I am now walking back around the baseball field. We're going to head towards, there's 2 Ohio historical markers that are placed on campus, so we're going to check those out, and then wrap up. And yeah, let's check out those markers real quick. I have to walk up hills more, but as you know, myth might say, there are hills here in Columbus. There is terrain, so I will get winded walking through some of these areas. Alright, so I'm along the right field side of the baseball field. There's stairs that go up this hill here. That's going to take us pretty much to the center of the campus here. So the dugout here is right up again, built right up into this, to the side of this hill. Pretty cool vantage point here from the stands, where it's built up a little bit, at least this side, and then the other side there is actually built down. Really, it's a unique, a nice little ballpark here. I'll definitely have to come to a game at some point, but we're gonna head up these stairs towards the Ohio Historical markers. Alright, so there is the ball field. Came all the way up these steps. And now we are going to head this way. A lot less terrain to traverse here, so let's continue on. Ohio Dominican is a really small school, only a couple thousand at most, I believe, but their campus is really tucked away. It's in between the airport and Easton Town Center. But I don't know if you know if it's here or not. Just based on signs and that kind of stuff. Definitely come check it out if you're into small college life, or just interested in seeing some of these older buildings here on campus. So according to Google Maps, we should be coming close, but this is kind of the main outdoor area for the university in a non-athletic sense. So people here going across the center to the student center. It also houses the bookstore and the basketball arena, and then the football stadium. It's right over there. That's where they have soccer as well. Yeah, you can always appreciate this old architecture. Very institution-like, but that's how these universities were built and designed to be like. So this is Erskine Hall. This is the main building here at Ohio Dominican University, to contemplate truth and to share the fruits of this contemplation. And right here is the Ohio historical marker for Ohio Dominican University, established in 1911. The Dominican Sisters of St. Mary of the Springs founded Ohio Dominican University on this site on October 5th, 1911. It was incorporated that year as the Ladies' Literary Institute of St. Mary's of the Springs, a literary college and institution of learning for the general education and training of girls and young women, and authorized to grant college credit. The name was changed to the College of St. Mary's of the Springs in 1924, when the founding sisters expanded the collegiate curriculum to grant the 4-year degree of Bachelor of Arts. Following a decision in 1964 to admit men, the name was changed to Ohio Dominican College in 1968. With the addition of graduate degree programs, the name was changed to Ohio Dominican University in 2002. Today, the institution serves traditional and adult students, reflecting the Dominican belief in lifelong learning. Very cool. So over 100 years of history here at Ohio Dominican University. The backside of this sign is all about the early sister foundresses of Ohio Dominican University. 2 remarkable women helped to lead Ohio Dominican in its first 2 decades. Mother Vincentia Erskine, Order of Preachers, Mother General of the Congregation of Dominican Sisters, initiated in 1911 the process that enabled the Ladies' Literary Institute of St. Mary's of the Springs to grant college-level credit of courses. Mother Stephanie Mohun, Order of Preachers, served as the prioress president of the Institute from 1911 to 1914 and was elected Mother General of the Dominican Sisters in 1923. Under her leadership, the Institute received authorization to grant the Bachelor of Arts degree and became the College of St. Mary's Springs in 1924. In the late 1920s, Mother Stephanie also launched the initiative that built Erskine and Salisbury Halls, which are this one and the one across there. Both were completed in 1929, just as the college and nation were beginning to suffer the effects of the Great Depression. Interesting. Very, very interesting. All right, so we have one more historical marker to visit here at Ohio Dominican. And I just wanted to take this time to say thanks for 50 subscribers so far. Make sure to like and subscribe if you don't already. I explore Ohio and anywhere else I can get my feet to. So be on the lookout for more videos all about Ohio history. We have a lot going on. The weather is only getting better. So I'll be out more. So if you have any suggestions of some historical sites to check out here in Ohio, make sure to put that in the comments below. And check out my other videos. We have a lot of good stuff already on the channel and be coming up. So make sure you like and subscribe. So one thing to keep in mind if you are visiting Ohio Dominican here is to make sure that you are you're respectful, because this is a working nunnery. So there are many different types of people walking around here. So this last marker is kind of out of the way here, but it's closer to the entrance from the highway to the university. It's coming up on the right center of the screen here. Alright, so here we have arrived at the final marker for St. Mary of the Springs Academy. On this site stood St. Mary of the Springs Academy, a school for girls first founded by the Dominican sisters in 1830 in Somerset, Ohio, to respond to the educational needs of frontier Catholics. The school operated in Somerset until 1866, when a devastating fire destroyed the buildings. The sisters occupied borrowed space until Theodore Leonard, a Columbus businessman, you might know his name from Leonard Avenue, offered them land and bricks to rebuild in Columbus. The sisters accepted, and Leonard built St. Mary's Academy in Columbus in 1868. To reflect the natural springs on the property of the springs was added to the name. The academy closed in 1966. And that's about the time whenever men were allowed to attend Ohio Dominican College. On the other side here is commemorating Anne O'Hare McCormick, who lived 1880 to 1954. In 1937, Anne O'Hare McCormick became the first woman to win the Pulitzer Prize for foreign correspondence. She was born in Yorkshire, England, and moved to Ohio as a child. She was educated at the Academy of St. Mary's of the Springs. As a freelance writer, McCormick contributed to the Atlantic Monthly, the New York Times, and others. She became a regular correspondent for the Times in 1922 and was the first woman to join its editorial board in 1936. As a New York Times correspondent in Europe during tumultuous years before and during World War II, she conducted interviews with leaders including Benito Mussolini, Adolf Hitler, Neville Chamberlain, Winston Churchill, and Joseph Stalin. So this woman who interviewed all these leaders during World War II started her education right here where we stand at Ohio Dominican University, at the turn of the century. Thank you for joining me here today. I'm Alex Florin here at Ohio Dominican University. Until we meet again, make sure you get out, start your own adventure, reclaim your history, and every day is a new day for an adventure. So with that being said, make sure you like and subscribe. See ya.